Hey everybody, what is crocking? I am King Crocker, and welcome to Crocker's Court, where Reddit brings the drama and the king delivers the verdict. I have often been told I have a very calming, soothing voice, so I figured the best way to use that is to read stories off of Reddit. I am in the r/stories community, and I will be reading several stories from fiction to real. And today's story comes from Squirrel Witty 5901. So shout out to them. They call me when the cops won't come. When the thing under the bed isn't afraid of the dark. It is the dark. When something's crawling in the walls and it doesn't care about drywall, or doors, or prayers. I kill monsters. The kind that no one wants to see. Not because they are invisible, because they are real. I was 15 the first time I saw one. My little sister Emma had been crying for weeks, saying there was something in her closet. Something that laughed when she prayed, scratched on the inside of the door, even when it was wide open. Mom was drunk more than she was sober. Dad was gone since I was 8. No one believed her, but I did, because I heard it too. The night Emma disappeared, I was lying in bed, gripping a baseball bat. I heard the door creak open, heard her whisper my name. Then, a wet thud, something dragging. I found the closet door cracked and red handprints all over the carpet. The cops said she ran away, but they didn't smell the sulfur. Didn't see the way the shadows moved on their own. Didn't see the thing crawl out of the attic and smile at me 2 nights later. That was the first monster I killed. It took me 2 hours, if I recall correctly. 1 fireplace poker, 3 cracked ribs, a whole gallon of gas to burn the house down afterward. Mom screamed at me from the hospital bed while they stitched my arms shut. Said I was crazy. Said I murdered her baby. They sent me to juvie. By the time I got out, no one wanted to look me in the eye. And that's when I learned. Monsters don't just hide in shadows. They live in silence. They thrive in denial. Now, I'm 32. And I don't just wait for the monsters to come to me anymore. They leave trails. And if you know what to look for, you can sniff them out. A red-eyed baby that doesn't blink. A homeless man with bite marks on his soul. A church that won't stay consecrated, no matter how much holy water you pour. That is how I ended up in Asheville, Iowa. Population 6,700. 4 stoplights. 1 hell of a secret. The call came from a woman named June. Mid-50s. Sounded exhausted. Said her grandson had been acting strange. Not in the usual TikTok challenge way that you're used to. In a things die around him, twisted kind of way. I got to the farmhouse around dusk. It reeked of rot and ozone. June met me on the porch, smoking a cigarette with trembling hands. Her eyes were red, but not from crying. "You're not a priest," she said. "Nope." I flashed my ID. "Not government issue, but close enough to get most people to back off." "I don't need a priest." She exhaled smoke. "I need a killer." The boy's name was Micah. 9 years old. Pale. Quiet. Eyes like oil slicks. He sat in his room, playing with a dead bird. It twitched in his fingers like it didn't want to be dead, but had no choice. I stepped inside. The air dropped 10 degrees. "You're here to take it out of me," he said without looking up. Not a question. I nodded. "If I can." "It doesn't like you." "I know. It says you taste like ash." Then he smiled. And it wasn't a kid's smile. It was the grin of a thing wearing a child's face, like a Halloween mask. I don't do exorcisms. I don't chant Latin or toss crosses around. Those things only work in movies. In the real world, if something's latched onto a person, you have two choices. You rip it out by force and pray they survive. Or you kill the host and make sure the thing dies with them. I've done both. Neither feels good. But Micah wasn't fully gone yet. There was still time. Maybe. The first step is always the same. Containment. I drew a circle in salt and chalk around the room, nailed iron rods into each corner. Micah watched, giggling. Said I looked like a, quote, silly cowboy drawing horses. Then the lights flickered, and the shadows in the corners shifted, and the thing inside Micah started to speak. Not through him, around him. The words came from the walls, floorboards, even the window glass. "You don't belong here," it hissed. "You never did." It knew my name, my past. It whispered Emma's voice through the vents. Laughed like my mother did the night she OD'd. That's the trick. They get inside you, not just the host. You. Make you question your own soul. Make you wonder if, perhaps, you're really the monster. I clenched my fist. I lit the incense, and I opened the blade. Ritual blades aren't magic. They're just tools. But this one had seen over 100 kills. Drank demon blood, vampire bile, the tar of shadow, things that used to be men. Micah writhed as the thing inside fought to stay buried. His eyes rolled back. His spine cracked. "You're going to kill him," June whispered. She stood outside the salt line, shaking. "No," I said. "It is." Hours passed. The sun sank. The air thickened with the stink of something ancient. Then, finally, it broke. Micah screamed. Then something slithered out of him. Black and wet and shrieking like a skinned animal. It slammed against the circle, screamed in tongues, tried to bargain. I didn't listen. I never do. I dragged it into the iron-lined pit I dug that morning, poured in the blessed kerosene, dropped the match. It burned blue. It always does. Micah survived. For now. June held him like he was made of glass. Tears fell, and the boy finally looked like a child again. "You saved him," she whispered. I shook my head. No. He saved himself. I just gave him a chance to. I left town the next morning. Didn't sleep. Didn't eat. That's the thing about this job. It takes pieces of you. Every time. Some people think I do this for redemption. That I'm trying to pay for something. They're not wrong. But it's more than that. There's a rot under the world. A sickness no one talks about. And it feeds on fear. On denial. On us. I kill monsters no one wants to see. Because someone has to. 2 weeks later, I got another call. This one from a funeral director in Michigan. Said 3 bodies at his morgue had gotten up, and one of them tried to whisper a secret in his ear before it rotted apart. I booked the next flight. Why do I do this? Because nightmares don't stay in your head forever. And if no one kills them, they learn to walk. So I walk further. I hunt deeper, and I sleep less. I carry my blade and my pain. And not for one moment, not a brief shining moment, do I ever stop. My final note. If you're reading this, and you hear something in the walls tonight, a voice calling your name in the wrong tone, a knock that comes at 3:33 a.m. exactly, a smile that's much too wide to be human, don't pray, don't run, call me. But be warned, if I show up, it means the thing you're afraid of, it's already inside. I thank you all for your time today. I really hope you enjoyed something new. This is not my usual content. I am usually a gamer, and I still love gaming, and that is not going to change. But I have been told I have a calm, soothing voice, and if you guys agree, perhaps I will do more. But anyway, thank you everybody for listening today. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. You don't have to, but it sure does help. I am your host, King Storyteller Crocker, and I will be seeing you next time.